We have Siddharth Sharma with us. He's our SAP IBP trainer. He will be giving the introduction for you, and then based on your introduction, we can start a short demo session. Siddharth, I have made you organizer, so you can present the screen whenever necessary. Thank you.
Sure. So hi all. I think that's Shesh, Srikant, Pranavesh. Good evening. So myself Siddharth
Good
Sharma.
evening.
Good evening. So
Yeah,
let
good
me
evening.
start with my introduction. Then I will go to each one of you to take your introduction, what the background you are having, so that it will be good for us to start the course and to understand your understanding. And based on that, we will go ahead. Okay. So let me introduce myself. So I am Siddharth Sharma. I have worked in 3-4 implementations with IBP. So my IBP experience is 10 years now. So actively involving in many various clients. So I have worked in IBP's demand module, response and supply module. As you know, or I'm not sure that SAP is still progressing with the response and supply module, right? So as of now, they have introduced the RTI module as well. Although the RTI is not that much functional because they have introduced it in the last quarter. So we are as of now we are still I have worked with SDI, which is file based and adapter based. So in one liner had done 2-3 implementations in SAP IBP based on demand planning, response and supply planning as well, with the integration experience, because as you know that if you are a functional consultant, then you have to know the CIDS and SDI, correct? So this is my introduction. So let's start with Srikant. Go ahead and let me know that what is your background and what you are doing as of now, and what is your expectation from this training, so that we will plan accordingly.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Yeah. So I do have a total of 7 years of experience. So I have an experience on SAP around some 6+ years. So within that, I have worked on SAP CPIDS and a part of SAP IBP. So usually
Okay.
I will be doing the integration activities between CPIDS and IBP, and then in IBP I will be doing like the Excel add-in and then some data integration activities and job template scheduling. These
Hmm.
activities I was doing. So I just want to do a deep dive on IBP, like on demand planning. I just want to switch my career into IBP. Yeah. So regarding
Okay.
that, I'm just planning.
Okay. And one information to you, Srikant. As of now, SAP changed the CPIDS name. It is now CIDS. They
Yes.
have,
Yes. Yeah.
omitted
Right.
that. Yeah. Okay. Got it, Srikant. So Pranavesh, please start.
Yeah, hi. I am experienced in SAP for a total 4 years. So currently I'm working as a functional consultant for SAP PP. So this PPDS only. But now I'm
Mhm.
just more keen into learning this IBP module. So you can say it's like completely a fresh experience for me. So I'm just looking at good guidance from this meeting. So that's all what I'm looking for as of now.
Okay. So you are basically a PPDS consultant, right?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Okay, now Omkar, hi. Can you please introduce yourself? Omkar, you are in mute. I think there is some issue with the mic with Omkar.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey, anyone is there?
Yes. Yes, Omkar. Hello. Okay, other than Pranavesh and Srikant, anyone want to introduce yourself? Then you can go ahead so that I can note it down. What is your experience? What is your present profile? And based on that, our training sessions will go on.
Srikant, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
You can hear Siddharth, right?
Yes. Yes, I can. Yeah,
Okay, can you please introduce yourself to Siddharth?
yeah. So yeah, so as I said earlier, yeah, I have a CPADS experience. Yeah, I just want
Mm.
to deep dive on IBP. So
Yeah,
within
yeah.
IBP, yeah, I have seen the topics which shared by Sana. So
Mhm.
within demand planning, for example, like I just want to know like whether like ABC, XYZ segmentation, EPF formatting,
Mm.
uh, like and then like outlier algorithm, like this kind of things also it will be covered or how it is.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So one liner to you,
Yeah.
Srikant, as that for the demand planning process, I will explain it in the step by step wise, like at which step you want to do, you have to do, or the business have to do the outlier correction, at which step business have to do the ABC XYZ based on volume and the value of their products, and at which step they are going to forecast what is the expectation out of it and how they are going to put the demand in the system step by step, like from region planners to up to the sales manager, and before publishing is to the final consensus, right? So this
Yes.
all process, yes, this all process we'll going to cover in this session, in the upcoming session, in the one by one. And then so the plan of this session will be, the how I am planning. So Pranavesh and Srikant, your values will be more valuable here. So what I am thinking is that I will go in a step by step process, like what you mean first by the demand planning, then what you mean by SNOP, then the supply planning part. So we will go like in the system and we will show you how you can configure it. And then like after one session, maybe if the understanding is correct, then I'm going to give you the one scenario so that you can also have the hands-on experience which we are having in parts of this training. So you can configure in the system your scenario, your supply network, which will be different. For Srikant, it will be different. For Pranavesh, it will be different. And for Omkar also, it will be different. And then on these scenarios, we will run all the demand planning. What are the steps included, sub steps of the demand planning, like the forecasting, like the outlier correction, like the ABC XYZ segmentation, up to the consensus release. Then based on your each of your consensus, we will run the supply plan, both the finite and infinite. So first we will go through all of this. Then as an assignment, you will take it and you will do this in the system on your own. Then at the end we will cross check how you are going to perform, so that we can say in another words is that there will be a sub network topic as well, like you need to segment your planning networks based on that. So all this program we will going to cover. So our target is that at the end of this training, right, you will have a good experience, hands-on experience on what is happening in demand planning, what we can do in demand planning, and what we are having the scope of the segmentations, all the related things here, as well as the supply planning, with respect to the constraints, how the system behaves in terms of constraints when we are having the real-time scenario of supply chain, and the constraints we need to take care, then how the system respect the constraints. So all these things will be going to cover in this part. So this will be our roadmap. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so in the meantime, I think Omkar recently joined. Hi, Omkar, can you hear me now?
Yes. Hi. 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 I can hear
Yes.
you. Sorry.
Yeah, no
Yep.
issues, no issues,
I
Omkar.
joined a
So,
bit late actually. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's just a introduction session to the,
Sure.
I can give you a quick recap what we have done as of now. I introduced myself.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so I am having, yeah, yeah. So what I have told is that I am having 3 years or, I have done 3 implementations and good years of experience in SAP demand module. In IBP's only demand module, supply, SNOP, all the modules. I have done the end-to-end implementation on that. So taking the raw data from SAP and sending the sales orders to SAP. So this
Okay.
end-to-end planning. Okay, and then we started with the Pranavesh and Srikant's introduction, which was good. So this
Okay.
is what we have done. In the meantime, you have joined, right? So can
Okay.
you please, can you please introduce yourself so that,
Yeah.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
Sure. Definitely. So yes, myself, Omkar, I've been working in SAP for past 4 years now. I am also SAP trainer. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been training, providing training, and I'm a full-time consultant as well. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
PPQM PM consultant, and recently I've been working in APO and a
Mm-hmm.
couple of SCM related stuff I'm getting exposed to. So
Okay.
my current project is like APO is completely migrating to IBP. So
Correct.
I'm looking forward to get some knowledge about it because we are outnumbered of resources right now, and
Mm-hmm.
the budget constraint and all layoffs are going on. So companies policies like we are having this much amount of manpower and we have to manage between us only. So
Mm-hmm.
you get acknowledge about this and try to perform the task. So I'm just trying to grab some knowledge regarding this IBP because uh, yeah, it's currently in quite a demand as I have been hearing from the market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Correct, correct. So you are having the hands-on experience in APO, right?
Yes, I am monitoring experience basically. I used to
Mm-hmm.
monitor a couple of stuff like
Okay.
CIF and all. So
Mm-hmm.
that's all I have done, but not
Yeah.
exactly like directly planning books and all. But yes,
Mm-hmm.
some
Got it, got it.
experience related to it. Yeah.
Got it, got it, got it. Okay, okay, understood. Okay, then it's good to start with, right? So first, let me tell you that how the evolution of IBP, what as this is a introduction session. So just let me share my screen.
I just had one small concern. Like
Yes.
is it a misconception or a myth that you must know APO to learn the IBP, or is it
No,
possible
no,
that
no.
if
It's
I don't know APO,
yeah,
then can I learn the IBP? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It is not a prerequisite to know the APO, right? Because
Okay.
the real picture is that the APO and IBP both are the planning tool, and IBP is the future generation tool. So it is more
Okay.
user friendly. Like in APO, you
Okay.
were working, you know that I know this topic is a little heavy for Srikant and Pranavesh, but let me give you an
Yeah.
one-liner is that in APO, it is not that much user friendly, but
Yes,
APO
it
is
is
more,
not. It's not. Yeah.
yeah, but as of now, APO is having more functionality which IBP is not having. So what SAP is doing is that in every quarter, they are upgrading their IBP system and
Yes.
they try to match in the APO and try to get better from APO. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Means as far as I know about the like it APO has been dominating industry for at least for 15 years. They have been dominating. But the thing
exactly.
is, it's not IBP is not yet the complete package. Like they're releasing so many patches like two 2005 that version was there. Again 2201 again recently released. So a lot of patches they have been releasing.
Correct, exactly. They are
Yeah.
using the correct and more user friendly. This IBP is more user friendly. You can navigate through the system with more. The touch and feel of the system is in a different level that I can say. When we
Yes,
will cover
absolutely.
all these topics, yeah, when we will cover all these topics, then you will get to feel that now because you are having the live APO system, so you can compare how IBP is. It is a very user friendly system. It is just the planning the what I can say your like as a consultant you have to think about how to plan and then configuration side it is very easy. So that is the one thing. Okay, so okay, let me share my screen so that okay, my screen is visible, right? Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
yes.
there.
Okay, okay, okay. So now let me give you a little bit of introduction what IBP is. Okay. So as per the SAP system, right? SAP developed IBP in 2002. The first IBP was released in 2002. Okay. So 2012, the first IBP version released, which they have told as SAP SNOP, Sales and Operation Planning. SAP SNOP 2.0. That was the first version released by SAP. So now here, when this 2012 version of IBP's first version released, then there is a, huge, what is that called is as a comparison between APO and IBP, like what IBP can do and what APO can do. So the main disadvantage of APO at the time was that it is a inbuilt memory. It is having the inbuilt memory system. It is not having the cloud based data model system. So when IBP was introduced, IBP has having the cloud based monitoring system. It is called the new cloud based SAP HANA platform for advanced planning. Okay, and it is also having many advantages, like it is having the new Excel and HTML user experience, right? It has the comprehensive data model. Now after 2012, they have released the 2013 version, which they have called same as SNOP version 3. Okay. SNOP version 3. Then in 2014, SNOP version 4, 15, 16, and then the present we are standing in 2022, and the new feature that is released at 2022 in the 2211. So all the versions which you will look, it will the SAP naming convention is that 2211 means 22, the first to indicate the year at which they are releasing the system, and the last to indicate the month at which month they have released. Okay, so this month is a quarterly upgrade from SAP. First they are upgrading the test system according based on the client requirements, and then like it is a universal, but first they are taking the client concerns, and then first they are doing in the test upgradation, then the production upgradation after 1 or 2 week gap based on the client concern. So this is the history of IBP, where IBP is evolved, and what we can do in IBP. So what are the modules that we are having in IBP? So first module, as the demand planning. We'll cover the subtopics, but first let me cover the head topics here. The demand planning. The next thing is the SNOP. SNOP, sales and operations planning. The third one, supply planning. Fourth one goes like supply chain control tower. So it is a very good, we are having a very good SAP IBP architecture format. So let me take you to Google to let you know that what is the architecture format of that SAP IBP architecture. Okay. So let me scroll down to the best architecture what we are having inbuilt in SNO, this IBP. Considered on this picture, so it is one of the good features of SAP IBP's thing, where it is showing you that what is this tool can capable of. So you see, this is a HANA platform, which is from the cloud integration. This is from the demand planning, response and supply, inventory optimization, which we are having single echelon and multi echelon, then sales and operations planning, then supply chain control tower, and the enhanced user experience. It is the whole tool that we are having in supply chain, in our IBP. And what the topics that we are covering, like in this training, what with the topics that we will cover, like in the demand planning section, we will do that how, like, what is the starting point of it. As we all know that we can start based on two times, right? One is the sales, or like we all know that in our base planning, when we are going to plan, we are having sales history, and we're having sales orders, right? So depending on the business concern, we are taking the quantities in IBP via CIDS. So CIDS is for time series based planning. Let me mention that in IBP we can do two types of planning. One is time series and the next one is order series. Now in the time series part, it comes as the finite heuristic, infinite heuristic, and optimizer as well. And in order series, we are having the sales and the response and supply planning and the optimizer as well. So the integration that we have used in time series is CIDS, and the integration that we have used for order series is SDI and RTI. Now SAP is more inclined to use the RTI, which is real time integration. So they are developing this thing, and previously that we, I mean, as of now it is there, but the old version of this thing is SDI. In SDI we are having the two types of adapters. So SDI, we will go through all these things, but SDI, for an overview process, SDI operates on two types of adapters. One is file based adapter and another one is ABAP adapter. What is the difference between these two in one liner is that file based adapter means we are having one source system. Say that in the source system we are having S4 as a source system, okay, and we are having IBP, right? Now to integrate between these two, in case of file based adapter, we need to have one server in between. Like here you can say the SDI server. So the process is that, let me bold it. So the process is that in case of file based adapter, we are fetching our required data file from S4 to that file based server, right? That to the SDI server. And in the SDI server, we are saying key in a particular path, we will have all the files like product, customer, location as per the master data side. And from the time series based side, we are having like this sales orders, open orders, this one. And when we are getting this SDI server file to IBP in terms of file based adapter. So in the other words, there is no direct communication between IBP and S4. The handshake is always always been there with the presence of the third party, which is the SDI server. This is for file based. Now what happens for ABAP based? For ABAP based, this handshake is happening direct from S4 to IBP. So here we are making the connection from IBP to the S4 tables directly. There is no we are not fetching the files in between any server. We are just connecting IBP tables directly to S4 tables, and we are taking our required master data and the transactional data for order series based planning from S4. So this is how these two um, adapter works. Now all these configurations we need to do in the two sides. One is in IBP side, okay, another one is the server side. If we are using the file based, then we have to use in the server side as well and IBP side as well. And if it is ABAP based, then we can do the configuration directly in the IBP side. Now coming what we can do in IBP. Now in IBP is called the demand planning, right? So in the demand planning topic, like if I go down and list down that what are the subtopics that we can do. So based on the demand planning, the first step of demand planning is to load the historical data. So what I mean to say by historical data loading is means that we are loading the past shipment histories of the products which have already been sold to generate the forecast for the future months. Before going to in the planning base, let me tell you that there are three types of planning. Okay, so one is what is have you any idea that what are the three types of planning we are having in normal business? Anyone? Srikant, Pranavesh, Omkar?
Planning in terms of if you're talking about the production point of view, then we are having planning
not
strategies.
not production point of view, like in the overall business
Okay.
perspective. What are the like in the SCM perspective, supply chain management perspective, what are the
Okay.
three types of planning? Yeah.
Forecast based, you're talking
No,
about
not
like that?
yeah, yeah, all planning is forecast based only, but what are the three, like forecast based planning is a subtopic. In some planning we use the forecast,
Subtopic.
some topic we, yeah, will not use the,
Okay.
we will use the forecast but based on something, based on nothing. Like what are the, like let me tell you, like there are three types of planning. First one is strategic planning. Second one is called the tactical planning. Third one comes as operational planning. Now these plannings are based on time horizons. Strategic plannings comes for 5 to 6 years in future. So in this planning, what happened? The business hierarchies, the top, the L1 level of leadership, one level, will sit together and they sort out the strategy, how our business will work in the coming 5 to 6 years in terms of revenue, in terms of quantity. So what I have mean by in terms of value and quantity or revenue and quantity is that how much product in terms of quantity we will sell in the market and how much revenue or the profit we will going to earn. This is a long term planning, very long term planning. Now comes the tactical planning. It is for 2 to 3 years, not more than that. It is more precise than strategic planning. It will tell that to achieve this 5 to 6 years of data, what should be my 2 to 3 years of coming years of approach. And now comes the third, which is called operational planning, which is you can say as month wise or day wise, month month wise planning, because we can say that production is happening month wise, it will not happen weekly, so and a month cycle is there, so month wise. Okay, so where IBP fits in this three planning, that will be the next question from your end. So where IBP fits, so the answer is that IBP fits in each and every planning step. Okay, so now in IBP we can plan for 5 to 6 years, in IBP we can plan for 2 to 3 years, in IBP we can even plan for daily basis, which in terms of demand planning we can say it as demand sensing, and in terms of supply planning we can say it as response and supply. Okay, so these two area, the demand planning and the response and supply planning, is happening for very small horizon. For demand sensing, it is a weekly basis. Like, every week, how your forecast is responding based on your past shipments. And response and supply, it will consider your open orders and it will consume the forecast and it will give you that how, what will be your production status based on your day-to-day demand, based on your future demand. So IBP fits in all of these three levels. SNOP fits in the second level because SNOP is like this SNOP module is mostly used in every business, like where they are inbounding, they are but they are establishing IBP in any business. Whether as of now they are doing the planning in Excel basis, they are try to implement the SNOP first, because SNOP is the base of every planning. It is having the demand planning, it is having the supply planning as well, but with some limitations. Like in demand planning, what are the limitations and all is that in SNOP demand planning, we are not having all the features which SAP is providing in the demand planning license. So when comes to license, then going to tell you is that in IBP, when our client is going to buy IBP from SAP, right, the IBP comes with certain licenses. they will give the demand planning license. Based on that, we will do the planning. Now yes, in snop, when you will buy the snop, in snop also these demand features are available. What we are using, the demand features are available, but if we are going to use them, then there will be a penalty cost when the SAP will do the audit. So these all things are there. Okay, so now come to the demand planning stages. Like what are the demand planning stages we are having in IBP and as per the business. First come to the business, then we will go in IBP. So when a business is doing the demand planning, then there is a two. First of all, there is a step which is called the product review step. I can say product review. So if you have done any implementation, then you have the idea what the phase that is going on in the product review phase. All right. So in the product review phase, there are two types of products basically. One is matured product. What do I mean in the matured product by this term? Matured product means which is already have a matured sale in the present market for last 3 years, 4 years, or more than that. And the second one is that new products which our business recently introduced or which they are going to introduce in the coming months or coming years. So now the challenges come, like in the product review phase we are having two types of products. So as per the business process, first we will analyze the historical data. The second thing we will do, what second thing we will do, the data correction by the planners. If I am a planner, then I will for my respective business, I will take care of the historical data and the correction of it. What do you mean by correction? Now here comes the outlier parts, which which Srikant was talking, right, Srikant?
Yeah, yes.
The outlier correction. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, outlier and then forecast error. So this will be coming, right? Okay.
Exactly. Forecaster will come later, but first
Okay,
here in
okay,
this step is the outlier correction.
okay.
So what do you mean by outlier? Pranavesh, you will also ask me questions. Okay, whenever you feel.
Sure, sure. I will. Yeah.
Okay. So historical data is there in the business. Now I'm talking about mature product. Then I will come to the new products. So for mature products, we are having historical data. You say that I'm talking about as a very higher level, which is for 2018 year, and then comes in 2022. Now let's say that here my business has done 2 lakh quantity, has sold 2 lakh quantity. Here it is sold like 3 lakh quantity. Here it is sold 2 lakh 50. And here in 2021, like in 2020, like we say in 2020, we have the corona thing, right? In 2020, the global pandemic. So due to this, the sale, there is a having a, if it is not a pharma company, then the sale maybe get as a huge blow. So I can say that they have sold only 50,000. If it is a pharma, then there will be sale high. And in 2021 maybe they have done the 60,000, and again in 2022 they bounced back to their original business, which is they have sold the 1,50,000. So now as a planner, if you include these two in your plan and do the forecast, it will be a wrong situation, because in 2020 and 2021 is a special case which will not come in future as of now, and depending on this data we can't do our business. So these are called the spikes or the outliers, the data which is not normal. So now this 5,000 and 50,000 and 60,000, these data are being called as a negative outlier. Why negative? Because the trend is 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 1 lakh 50, and then we are having the sale which is going downward. That's why it is called the negative outliers. And if the same situation will happen for say in any pharma business where we are having sales in like it is going to 5 lakh, right? It is going to 5 lakh and 50, 55. So these two are called the positive outliers, because we have done enough business in this 2 year, which again, as a planner, I will not include it into, I will not generate the forecast based on this, because this data is abnormal. It is not normal. So these are being called as a positive outliers. Got it? What is the outlier? What is this outlier is also being called as spikes. Positive spike, negative spike in business terminology. Okay. So now historical data load done. Data correction. Here we are doing the outlier correction. So this 2 step has been done. Now what is the third step? Third step is forecasting. Obviously, forecasting comes with certain condition. Condition starts with how, what is the, what is your data, uh, what I can say, what is your data pattern. Forecasting is doing on historical data pattern, historical data, historical data structure. Okay. So here what is doing is that now in forecasting step, we are having many forecasting in IBP. Like in SNOP, we are having only 5 forecast. One is simple average, then simple moving average. Okay. Simple moving average. Then we are having 3 exponentials: single, double, and triple. Okay. So these all forecast models comes with certain formulas. These all are arithmetic formula. There is no this thing, there no black box is here. All the formulas, you, if you will apply to your historical data, the output will come based on the formula. And there is simple moving average and simple average, simple moving average and weighted moving average. So these two formulas will be applicable for your product if there is matured cell, like for FMCG products, which is having the matured cell, like the biscuit or like cigarettes or like any other cakes, the which is the FMCG, right? You know what this terminology mean, right? FMCG.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So for those business, we can apply this simple moving average, because our business is pretty standard. We can average our data in the past and we can generate in the future. That is a pretty simple. But if our business contains any seasonality, any trend, then we will go for single, double, and triple. Now, what for single? Single is for more mature product where we are having a standard history. Double comes with mature, trend and seasonality, right? Triple comes with same. Like in single, we are having pattern called alpha. There is beta and there is gamma, right? So in every business, there is not every business. Most of the business they are having seasonality. They are having trends, and if we can consider both of them, seasonality and trend, then we go to triple. Okay. So these all the models that is available in IBP, and all this is arithmetic based. We will now, you may heard about the alpha coefficient, beta coefficient, gamma coefficient. Like why it is called exponential? Because it is giving the exponential value of your recent past. Whatever the value that we will see this in the system in the later. So when we will give the value in the alpha, we means the alpha, if we will increase the value of alpha, it means that we will prioritizing our recent sales more than the past. So this is the normal structure. So now our historical data is done. Then comes our data correction, which is comes with outlier correction. Then comes our forecasting, and then we have the stat forecast generated, which is at the very base level. Like it no editing has been done yet, and it is not the final demand. It is just at forecast, just what is your forecasting stands for. Now in the present scenario, there will be a business structures, like there will be the planners. You can say the local planner, Now, according to the local planner, he is or she is having some responsibility to their local warehouses. And to meet the target in the future, they are editing the stat forecast. Like if I am a local planner and I think that what my system is suggesting as a forecast, or what my Excel or whatever thing I am using is suggesting the forecast, it's not good, is not accurate, which is obviously not, because the system or handles in a pattern way. So then, to fulfill the his target or her target, they have entered some numbers in the local planner field. So this is the first step of editing, we can say. Stat forecast is being edited by local planner, and local planner done the job. So now first layer of editing on the stat forecast has done. Now come maybe the region planner, right? So in the region planner, as a region planner, I may think that whatever the data my local planners have entered is not correct. I can do more or I can do less business, because obviously to keep the stock in the present scenario is not a good option, because if we going to keep the stock, then there is a stock keeping charges as well. So to optimize all these things, I need to be focused, I need to be more accurate when I am giving the forecast in the system. And then comes the global planner. Now when I'm saying this, now the global planner will see what is like this person is the head, so he has or she has the ability to check in the system what their local planner has entered, what their region planner has entered, and based on that he will evaluate the value and he will do the final forecasting before submission as a consensus forecast. Got my point? Any confusion here? Clear? Pranavesh, Srikant?
I
Yeah.
have one thing.
Yeah.
So we
Yes.
were saying about some snapshot, right?
Mhm.
So
Snapshot.
that will be
Yeah, as of now, I have not mentioned any snapshot.
okay. So may I know where the
Yeah,
snapshot will be coming into picture?
yeah, it will come later. Like
Oh,
I
okay,
am now explaining the what is the process, what is the
okay,
demand process, how we are appearing on the final consensus focus. Now, this snapshot, the copy operator, all these things will come in picture in when we are doing the planning.
okay,
Okay, so this is a
okay,
very higher level where how our demand planning process works.
okay.
Okay, clear, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So now, if we relate these process steps in IBP, then what we can do in the system as per the configuration perspective. First, we need to bring the historical data from our source system, in case if our source may be S4, maybe ECC, maybe BW, business warehouse. So based on the source system, we need to bring the data to our IBP via CIDS. CIDS in between comes to picture here. And then when this data is there in IBP, then we can do this data correction, this outlier correction, different way in different module. Like in SNOP, we can't like in so in SNOP we can't edit the outliers by the system. It is not comes with the in SNOP. In SNOP is not coming with the outlier correction license. We have to do it manually for SNOP, the outlier correction. The planners need to go and change the numbers manually. But in the demand planning license, we are having the module or having the functionality IBP in IBP, by applying which we can correct our data, which is again based on certain formula. These formulas are there in the system. I will tell you in the later. So then it will appear in the forecasting part. It is called a system generated forecast. Then the local, region, global, and global planners will edit, and then the global will submit it as a consensus forecast. Now, here comes the another thing. So when I was talking about how local planner will enter, they need to have some target, like they need to think that what their warehouse is doing, how they will do the business. The region planner, how they do the business. Now this local, region and global planner all are the sales guys, that you need to understand. According to the sales guy, in every organization, there is a common fight between the sales planner and the production planner. If you have done any implementation, then you know, or any business discussion, then you know, then sales planner always try to project higher numbers, because it will generate more profit, more revenue for the company. But from the production planner stand of view, from the supply chain head standpoint, it is not possible, because I have my limitations. I can't supply whatever my demand come, right? My demand will always be higher than my supply. Agree?
Yes.
Correct. So now in SNOP, this step is being called supply demand review and the supply review part. In the demand review part, global planner will sit with his team or with her team and to check the number that they have submitted in the system, what is the reason behind it. Because we can check that in 2018, 2019, our business is doing 2 lakh and 3 lakh sales, but suddenly in 2020, my planner is submitting 5 lakh, which is not, which is uh, irrelevant, I can say. So now, as a global planner, I will make contact with my respective stat planner, respective local and region planners, and edit the number before submitting it as a final forecast or the consensus forecast. The same kind of review will happen with the supply planner as well. When the demand planner is releasing my demand, is saying, ki, hey, for 2022, I am having this much of demand. Is maybe maybe 6 lakh of demand. So how, like from the supply plan point of view, he is having some point like the 6 lakh we can't supply. So now the main connection, main point is that depends on which they are making these targets. Depend on which the demand planner will provide the 6 lakh, and depends on which the supply planner will fight with the demand planner. There comes the thing is called the annual business plan. Okay, so this annual business plan, it is coming with this strategic plan. This part is related to strategic part. How it is being related? In when we are doing the strategy planning for the business for 5 to 6 years, we have set certain targets. Because if you remember, then I said that in strategy planning, the leaders sit together and they have decided the target in the coming years, right? What as part of the quantity wise, as part of the value wise. It is called the annual business plan quantity, which is in right, and it is being called as, and the another thing that is called as annual business plan revenue. Okay. Now maybe here they have put some 5 lakh or say 5 lakh of quantity. Okay, and revenue maybe based on 5 lakh of quantity is it $33 million. Okay, so like this. So when the demand planner will take his like take their picture to the leaders, they will show them ki, see, as per my demand planning point of view, I am achieving my target, which is more than my target. So it is a good. So target is always a margin, the top margin, but it is not the limitation. You understand, right? I can tell my business that I can do more planning, my business has a target of to achieve the quantity of 5 lakh. Now as per my planner, I can say that I can do the business of 6 lakh, but with some reason, because here I am crossing my limitations. But there is a strict thing is that you should not cross your target. If you do it, you are more than welcome, but you have to tell the reason why you are crossing it one. And you can't do lesser than that. You always have to achieve 90% to 95% accuracy. You have to give as per the sales perspective. It can't be more less. It will always, this is the target by which they are all driven by the year. Now, this, based on this target, the supply and the demand planner will come in the review phase. Like, this is my target. To achieve this target, my sales team submitted this demand. Now, as per the capacity of my production and the resources of my machines, we can't produce this much. We can produce here, say, let's say 5,30,000. Right. So this is, you see, this is called the demand loss, or you can say revenue loss. What my revenue is getting lost as per the higher picture. As of now, we have not gone into deep. It is only the higher level of discussion. And after discussing, they are releasing the consensus demand. So now all these, discussions and all these thing is taking place before releasing the final demand. That's why it is being called as consensus forecast. Because it is not the decision of one single person or one head, but it is, the numbers is having the decision making by many peoples involved. That is why it is a consensus. Okay. So now when our consensus forecast has been submitted, or when we can say the consensus demand have been submitted, then our supply planner do the production planning, do all these things, and then they are committing something which is in, we can say that, customer receipt. Now receipts is always lesser than what my sales team has been forecasted. So this is the overall process of business, from starting from the historical data load to coming from the receipt part. It is a very higher form. Now when we will give, go down, take the deep drive of all these parts, then we will discover what are the constraints that we are having in the normal business, like the capacity shortage, like the transportation cost, like the production cost. Like if one plant is shut down, like the recently we are having the supply chain crisis for this Ukrainian war, right? Russia has done the war with the Ukraine, and for that the whole world is giving a ban on the Russia. So whatever the plants demand, like whatever the plants we are having in Russia, it is now being shut down from our supply chain perspective. So all the demand we are sourcing other non-Russian plants. So sourcing means there involves the cost, there involves the transportation as well as the production cost and the capacity as well. So now respecting all these things, how I can do the planning? This is being provided by IBP. You have to mention the constraints, and system will throw you out the result, how you have to produce, how you have to go through it. This is for the demand planning. So tell me that if there is any confusion in the process wise, because in the coming sessions we will go down in deep on all these parts. So it will be good to you if you and make this session as a more interactive one. Don't be a silent listener. Tell me wherever you are having doubts, wherever you are think, because all of you are experienced enough. Tell me where I am coming from. Question me so that I can correct if I am wrong, and your learning will be great in this journey, right? So as of now, all
Yes,
clear,
definitely.
right? I can say, yep. As of now, what I
Yeah,
have tell, all is clear. Okay, okay, good.
yeah, pretty clear.
Let me, yeah, let me go to the your screen.
I have a one question.
Okay, yes, Srikant.
Yeah. So yeah, I've got a few data points, whichever you are saying, but I
Mm-hmm,
just want to relate one more thing. From a CPID's perspective, I'll be loading the like master data and transaction data, for example, like ECC or S4 to IBP. So
mm-hmm,
in master data wise, I would say like region, product location, these kind of things. And in transaction data wise, I'll be loading like exchange rates, actuals, financial forecast, business target,
mm-hmm,
this kind
mm-hmm,
of data I will be loading into IBP. May you know like
mm-hmm.
how it will be behaving, or may you know how it will act in IBP.
Okay. So in IBP, we are having called key figures, right? So
Yes,
key
yeah,
figures, what this key figure, you can say it is a stakeholder. treat this at like
Okay.
this, like in ECC.
Siddharth, sorry to interrupt. Okay, just a moment. Okay, just I'm calling you one second.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, Omka. So the question is from Srikant, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So treat IBP as a stakeholder, like for each and every data, we are having stakeholder in IBP, which is being called as key figures. So like say in IBP, we are having the actuals quantity. It is a key figure which comes with certain planning level. Now, from when you are fetching
आवाज
the
येतोय माझा
tables,
सगळ्यांना?
sorry,
ओके.
yes, Omka, you are telling
आता
something?
येतो? हॅलो. हॅलो. हा.
Yeah.
एक अनाउन्समेंट अशी होती, आजचं लेक्चर झाल्यानंतर आपलं लेक्चर म्हणजे आता सिलेबस तर कव्हर होतोय पूर्ण, फक्त तुम्हाला काही डाऊट असतील किंवा तुम्हाला प्रिपरेशन मध्ये काही हेल्प हवी असेल तर मी 15 डिसेंबर पर्यंत अवेलेबल नाहीये, कारण माझं लग्न.
Omkar, please be in mute,
आजचं
I guess.
लेक्चर
I think.
झाल्यानंतर मी 15.
Okay, I muted Omkar. Okay, yes, Srikant. So to answer is that in IBP we are having the key figures. So if we want to load our historical quantity from S4 and ECC to IBP based on say product location and customer and week level, we need to make the same level key figure in IBP, and we need to bring the data from ECC to IBP like this pattern, one to one. Like what are the fields, like we want to fetch it from S4 or ECC, and we are doing all the configuration in over CPIDS, or you can say CIDS, and bring it and feed in that to the IBP system as a target. So in IBP you will see the key figures which will match with the transactional data in the ECC or S4.
Yes.
Clear on that?
Yes.
Okay, okay, good. Okay, any other doubt, Pranavesh? I think you are.
Not so far.
I, okay, okay. I'm hearing less question from you. That's why I'm, poking you.
No worries. I'll definitely put up questions when I repeat it.
Sure, sure, sure. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so yes, Srikant, any other question?
So, I hope all the IBP modules will be covered, right? So,
Yep, yep,
in the upcoming session. Okay.
yep. We will we will cover. Let me show you the plan based on which we are doing it. Let me share.
So, we'll be showing like in real time how it begins, right?
Which one?
So, from the IBP. So, from CPDs to IBP, I'm aware. So, in the IBP, so in the real time world, how it is behaving, you will be explaining end to end, right? In real time.
Yeah, real time it will be end to end, but I'm not sure that in CIDS I can show you the setup. But if you can do that or not, that part I'm not sure, because we need to have the dedicated system for that, na? So you see here, this will be our plan. Sana, you can correct me wherever you want to. Like the courses that will cover is that the configuration setup. Okay, what this, I will give you the idea what this attribute stands up for, master data for, what is time profile, planning area, planning level, key figure, what is the version, and what is scenario as well. And then what is the model activation we'll do to activate the planning area, what is reason code, right? Then we will go to in HCI, this is called the CIDS part. So HCI is called now CIDS. Now the data integration, how the data is being integrated in IBP, what is the how IBP we can upload the files, so all these things. Now user administration, by creating filter, by creating user, which you can call the securities perspective from IBP end. Now, and for the Excel planning and reporting, like if you want to do the modifications in the Excel planning view, how you can do that. Analytics and dashboard, which is the most important in terms of business. If you want to show this data in the dashboard chart, which analytics you are going to include in the dashboard, how they will behave, this will show, this will cover in the analytics and report. And the disaggregation as well, how you have to you need to write the logics in the disaggregation based on aggregation disaggregation. Like, what do you mean by aggregation disaggregation? If we are having the product as a, if we, as a planner, if you want to see the level at customer group and location region level, and if you want to put some data over there, how it will going to disaggregate it to your location ID, product ID, and the base level. And the same level, how it are going to aggregate from lower to upper approach. Top to down is a disaggregation, and bottom to up is a aggregation. Okay, now, like, what is how to delete the active planning object, and we'll give you an overview of our supply, how the supply looks like, what is the scope of infinite, what is the scope of finite, copying the data between versions, how you can do that in IBP from base version to upside, downside, or any custom versions if you have created any. How to create the helper key figure, what is the advantage of helper key figure. And then we will cover the stat forecasting, like what is the model, like how, what is the configurations that you need to do, what is PLM, product lifecycle management. This part we will do for this part is dedicatedly for the phased out product or the in a NPI products, new product introductions. What are the naming conventions, how you can name your key figures, right? What changes it stands for. So all these things we will cover in this session. Clear about our roadmap? Any questions?
May I know, like, so in our today's call, we were mentioning about demand sensing,
Mm-hmm.
forecast error correction, and then outlier. So these topics will also be explained, right? So
The
it was,
demand sensing, yeah, demand sensing is more advanced topic. If I'm going to tell you how demand sensing will work, it will not making any sense to you, honestly, because it is a advanced topic. So I suggest better to start with demand planning. Like, you can say the demand sensing is within the demand planning, which you are correct, but demand planning coming from the forecast planning, we can say. As of now, start with the forecast planning. When you will understand the forecast planning, then you go down with the demand sensing, because demand sensing is not an easy way, there are many steps involved. Okay, so first, as you were not having that background of IBP, then first go through the model. Then if we will have some time, then we will deep down on the demand sensing as well. Agree?
yeah, okay.
Okay. Okay, so this will be our roadmap. Okay, and I think that it is understood from Pranav's point of view and from Omkar point of view as well.
Yes, well understood.
Okay, okay, good, good. Okay, now I see the Surinder join. Hi, Surinder.
Hi, sir.
Hey, hey, hi. How are you, man?
Yeah, fine, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So please introduce yourself to ours.
Sir, my name is Surendra Singh. I am 16 years experience of PP module, and
Hmm.
currently I am working with SY Square.
Okay.
So I want to learn in IBP in
Hmm.
my future growth.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you are having 16 years of experience in demand planning, right?
Yes.
Have you experienced in SAP or any other tool?
No, SAP. SAP experience in is 8 years, but total
Okay,
experience in my IT in 16 years.
okay, okay. So in 8 years, which tool you have used for demand planning?
In only as for HANA and PPDS we have used.
Only is for HANA and PPDS. So where
Yes.
you are doing the forecasting and all?
No, in means not in deep. Only we run in MRP level,
Okay,
not in
okay,
forecasting.
okay, okay, okay. Got it, got it. So that not kind of I can say that detailed level of demand planning, na?
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. Got it. Understood, understood.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, okay, okay. Good, good. Okay, Sana, over to you. I think for today is enough. From tomorrow or the next sessions when you will plan, we will go deep into the system and will show our audience that how the system feels like, how what is the touch and feel of IBP.
Okay, is it possible to show how the system looks like today, if possible, Siddharth?
Yes, 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 yes,
That
it
would
is.
be great. Okay, you can just stop sharing screen and then you can go to the access and screen share again.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Thanks.
Sure, sure, sure. So let me share. So this is what the IBP UI looks like. Okay, so this is the IBP user interface, web UI, web user interface, you can say. Here we are having the general planner tab, under which it comes with analytics, dashboard, application jobs. I remember that Srikant or Pranavesh, someone has mentioned that they are doing the application jobs, na? They are running and scheduling the application jobs, correct? So they can do it like they are doing it from this application job tab. If you click on the drop down, then it will give the time series based planning as well as order series based planning, including all the inventory planner, supply planner, demand driven replenishment planner, driver based planning, security, all these things come in the picture. So this is how your this thing looks like, your web UI. Okay, you can navigate to each one of them and you will see the details level of it. Got it? So this system is this, this view what I am showing is new to whom? For Srikant, this is new. I think Omkar is having experience on that, but Srikant and Pranavesh and Surinder, are it is new for you?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I have
Actually,
already
I'm
used
like
that.
little familiar. Yeah, sorry, please
Okay.
go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Pranavesh, you are familiar with it, right?
Yeah, I'm like little familiar, but I've not worked in much details into it. So, sorry,
Got it.
exploring more.
Got it. And Srikant?
Yeah, I'm also familiar on scheduling these job templates, these kind of
Mm-hmm.
steps, creating TCS attributes, these kind of
Oh,
steps I have worked on.
uh, okay, okay. And
But
Surinder, you
beyond
are?
that,
You
this algorithm I have not worked.
I am not familiar. I am new for this.
oh, okay, okay, okay. Good, good, good. Okay, good. In the coming sessions, we will discuss on each and every topic. Now we will first, like step by step, we'll go to the demand planning, and we will do the steps over there. Supply planning, how to configure in the system and all. We'll show you.
Yes. Yes. Definitely.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I see the Omkar left, so I'm not sure that if he is having some network issue or what. Okay, let's start the journey. I hope you will get benefited from that. Yes, Sana, over to you.
Thank you, Siddharth. Thank you so much for the wonderful demo. Okay, guys, I'll get back to you with the schedule of the sessions and when exactly we are starting, and it will be the weekends or the weekdays by tomorrow. Okay, guys, thank you so much.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all. Bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
That's all.
Same to you.